Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Weekly DeBrief, where we cut through the noise to tell you what's actually going on. This week we're talking about a story that often happens in the shadows, human trafficking. But a series of major law enforcement actions have just dragged it into the light. From huge international busts to complex court cases, a lot happened. We've got our correspondent Maya on the line to help us break it down. Maya, let's start in Europe. It sounds like it was a big week for law enforcement there.
A massive week, Alex. We saw the results of a huge coordinated effort codenamed Operation Global Chain. Think of it like a blockbuster movie, but with real-world impact. Police forces across multiple European countries worked together, targeting networks that were forcing people into crime, begging, and sexual exploitation. They arrested 158 suspects and, most importantly, identified and rescued nearly 1,200 potential victims. This wasn't just one country. This was a unified strike against the networks themselves.
1,200 people. That's staggering, and you mentioned this was happening on a national level too?
Exactly. It wasn't just the big international sting. Here in the UK, for example, a court case wrapped up that saw several traffickers jailed for running a network of brothels. So you're seeing the fight happen on both a massive cross-border scale and a targeted local scale.
So, a clear win for the good guys in Europe, but the story in the Americas is a bit more complicated, isn't it?
It really is, and it's a story that's causing a lot of debate. In Mexico, a well-known migrant activist is currently on trial, accused of human trafficking.
An activist? That seems counterintuitive. How does that work?
Well, the prosecution argues that the activist's work crossed a line from providing aid to illegally smuggling people for profit. The defense, of course, says they were simply helping vulnerable people escape dangerous situations. It highlights this incredibly gray, difficult area at the border. Where does humanitarian aid end and criminal activity begin? It's a case that could have huge implications for how aid workers operate in that region.
Wow, so on one hand you have a very clear-cut police operation with arrests and rescues, on the other, a really complex legal and moral question. Thanks, Maya. That really puts it into perspective. So what's the takeaway from this week? Two things. First, that when international law enforcement agencies actually work together, they can get incredible results and save lives. But second, the issue of human trafficking is way more complex than just good versus evil. It's tangled up in migration, poverty, and complex laws. The fight is happening and progress is being made, but stories like the one in Mexico show just how challenging that fight can be. It's a reminder to stay informed. If you want to learn more, we've put some links to organizations doing great work in the description below. That's all the time we have for this week's debrief. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. Stay safe and stay informed.